There's no board outside this building, no ATM, no customer care number you can Google. If you have to ask where it is, you probably don't belong inside. This is not a bank for the public. This is a bank for people who don't stand in queues because the queue comes to them. Welcome back to Elite Vault. Today, we're stepping behind the world's most guarded financial doors. The private banks that don't advertise, don't onboard strangers, and in some cases, won't even confirm you're a client. Because in this world, silence is the ultimate luxury. What is a private bank? Really, before we go inside, let's clear one thing up. A private bank is not just a bank for rich people. Normal banks manage your money. Private banks manage your life. They handle your investments, yes. But also your art collection, your yacht's insurance, your children's inheritance structuring, even the quiet purchase of a private island without a single leak to the press. Minimum entry. Usually somewhere between $1 million and $10 million in investable assets. Some houses won't even open the conversation below $25 million. This isn't banking. This is financial architecture, built one client at a time. Pictet is the silent aristocrat founded in 1805 in Geneva, Switzerland. Pictet is older than most nations' central banks. For over 2 centuries, it has run on one principle. No debt, no public shares, no shareholders demanding quarterly profits. Why does that matter? Because Pictet answers to nobody but its clients. Its partners are personally liable with their own wealth, which means every decision they make with your money, they'd make with their own family's money too. Pictet manages assets for royal families, industrial dynasties, and old European money that predates most modern currencies. And here's the detail almost nobody knows. Pictet has never once advertised. Not a single commercial, not a billboard, not a sponsored post. In 200+ years, their only marketing has been silence. And results. Julius Baer specialist Julius Baer takes a different approach. They build entire teams around a single client. Ultra-high net worth individuals, people with 30, 50, 100 million and above, don't get one advisor. They get an entire private ecosystem. Tax specialists, art advisors, real estate scouts, even philanthropy consultants for setting up private foundations. One insider detailed Julius Baer has historically catered heavily to entrepreneurs and founders, not just inherited wealth. If you built a company and sold it for 9 figures, this is often where the money lands next, quietly, and with a plan already waiting. Lombard Odier. 200+ years of discretion, Lombard Odier has survived world wars, currency collapses, and financial crashes that wiped out entire banking systems. Because their philosophy has always been capital preservation first, growth second. Their private clients aren't chasing quick returns. They're protecting generational wealth meant to outlive them by 100 years. Some family accounts here have been passed down through 5 generations without ever being touched by the public banking system. That's not banking. That's a bloodline. See, the Royal Bank founded in 1692, Coutts has banked British royalty for over 300 years, including monarchs themselves. Its client list has historically included some of the most recognizable aristocratic and business names in the UKTO even be considered. You traditionally needed a minimum of a few £1,000,000 in investable assets, though Coutts has always been less about the number, and more about the name behind it. This is a bank where your grandfather's relationship with them might matter more than your bank statement. How do you actually get in? So how does someone actually open an account here? 3 words: invitation, introduction, or inheritance. Most private banks don't accept walk-ins or online applications. You need an existing client to vouch for you, a wealth manager to make an introduction, or you're born into an account that's already open in your family's name. Once you're in, the perks are almost cinematic. A single phone number that reaches a real human 24/7, birthday gifts personally chosen by your relationship manager, and in some historic cases, Physical vaults built specifically to store things banks were never meant to store jewelry, rare manuscripts, even fine wine collections worth more than most houses. At the end of the day, these banks aren't selling interest rates. They're selling something money usually can't buy: privacy, legacy, and a seat at a table that's existed for centuries before you arrived. For most of us, we'll never walk through those doors. But now, you know exactly what's behind them. If this took you inside a world you never knew existed, hit subscribe, because at Elite Vault, we open doors most people never even knew were there.